Now that is what I'm talking about. Miami Heat put the boots on the Los Angeles Lakers last night, 110-96, bringing our record to 20-14. And a huge update containing Donovan Mitchell yesterday. What's up, you guys? Your boy Ernest here. I am back with another Miami Heat Talk video. You know what I'm about to ask you guys. Ain't no changes. Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers, and we are more than halfway there. I want to thank all you guys that have taken a moment to subscribe. If you're not, help your boy out. It really means a lot to me. Now, last night, we saw a lot of great things. And I'll be honest with you guys. I know the Lakers were 500. I know they've been having their issues this year. I don't care. They have LeBron James. They have Anthony Davis. They have Austin Reeves. They got a lot of great players on that team. Any given night, the Lakers can destroy an NBA team. It doesn't matter what their record is. I still think that the Lakers are one of the best premier teams in the NBA. They're just going through bad times this season. Same thing last year. But we're seeing that the Miami Heat are a different team, ladies and gentlemen. We are noticing that this Miami Heat team, and I've said it before, is a very deep NBA team. No Jimmy Butler, no Caleb Martin, no Haywood Highsmith. Three of our premier defenders were not playing. Thank goodness Josh Richardson played. But what you saw last night was a team effort. There was nobody that dominated. Eric Spoelstra went with an 8-man rotation. All 8 players scored in double figures. Now, you got to give your hats off. Player of the game, of course, to Tyler Hero. He gives you 21 points, but he goes 7 for 19 for shooting. I guess you can say it's an obvious player of the game because he scored the most, but in my opinion, you guys, player of the game has to go to Nikola Jovic. Nikola Jovic is a guy who has not been playing all season. He actually cut an interview recently with hoopshype.com basically saying how he's just waiting for his moment. He thought that he was going to come to the NBA and be amazingly good right away, but he's noticing that it's taking time. He praises Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler for helping him and to teaching him to win. But last night is the definition of not just being ready when you have to be, about staying ready, and when your moment comes, you dominate. Last night, Nikola Jovic starts 28 minutes, 15 points, 8 rebounds. He gives you 3 for 5 behind the three-point line, 6 for 11 for the field. Now look, he's a +3. His defense is still an issue. We've talked about this a lot before. Nikola Jovic pissed Kyle Lowry off the 3rd game of the season against Minnesota Timberwolves because he didn't know his defensive placement. He didn't know where to be. He's still a progress. He's still a diamond. Offensively, you're seeing that this dude is a beast. Defensively, it's something different. It's going to take some time, but you are seeing great development with this guy. And it's like I said, everybody scores double figures. You get 15 from Bam, you get 10 from Kyle Lowry, you get 13 from Duncan Robinson, 10 points and 14 rebounds from Kevin Love off the bench, 10 points by Josh Richardson. Now, another dude I got to give credit to, as we're basically doing this every video, you guys, but Jaime Jaquez Jr. is not only a revelation, you guys, he's a freaking animal. Last night, he gives you 16 points, 8 assists, 7 for 14 from the field, makes 2 3-point shots, but check this out, y'all. He's a +24 out there. When Jaime Jaquez is on the floor, the Heat play great. And I'm sorry, you guys, as much as I respect LeBron James, what he did for the Heat, he got his ass busted last night by Jaime Jaquez. Jaime Jaquez outperforms LeBron James, a rookie, against the guy who's basically defeated Father Time. Jaime Jaquez goes out there and gives him the business. So I am proud of this Miami Heat team. We're sitting with a 20-14 record. We are 4th in the Eastern Conference. Now, if you guys are noticing in the standings, it's getting a little bit different. You know, you got Boston. They're the clear-cut favorites. They have a 2.5-game lead with the 1st seed. Milwaukee and Philadelphia are fighting for that 2nd seed. But then after that, from seed 4 to 8, it's very close. The Heat are the 4th seed. And then after that, you got pretty much a 4-way tie for the 8th seed between Indiana, Orlando, Cleveland, and New York. All of these 4 teams are just a game and a half down from the 4th seed. But then after that, from seeds 9 through 12, which is the play-in tournament, It's basically 5 games down. So we're seeing who's the contenders, who are the favorites here in the East. We're seeing the top 8 teams that are possibly going to make this playoffs. But the Miami Heat need to continue to fight to get this 4th seed. Now, this is going to go to the next topic I want to talk about, and I'm sure it's the reason why most of you clicked this video. Yesterday, it was reported by Jeff Zilgit by the USA Today that the Cleveland Cavaliers are looking to move Donovan Mitchell. Now, I talked about this about 2 to 3 weeks ago. I made a video about the possibility of Donovan Mitchell coming to the Miami Heat. A lot of you have viewed that video. A lot of you have commented on that video. We've basically talked about this already. But the video that I cut a few weeks ago was about the possibility of trading for Donovan Mitchell because we didn't know what was happening with Cleveland with the injuries to Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. Here's the thing. And I'm gonna break it down to you guys because honestly, Cleveland doesn't need to trade Donovan Mitchell. It's like I just mentioned, they're still one of the top 8 teams in the Eastern Conference. They have a 19-15 record. It's not like they suck. But here's the problem. Donovan Mitchell did not sign the contract extension that Cleveland offered him. So that means in 2 years when his contract is up, Donovan Mitchell will most likely leave Cleveland for nothing. And when you're an NBA team, and when you know the writing's on the wall, you got to move that player because you can't lose him for nothing. They traded for him. They gave up multiple future first-round draft picks for him. So there's no way Cleveland is going to be stupid enough to let this guy walk. And with the fact that they have injuries to their star players, Cleveland may start falling down from the standings. And if you know that Donovan Mitchell is not going to want to come back to your team, and this is a player that can get you multiple future first-round draft picks and young assets, then it's time to possibly trade for him. Now, why are we talking about this today? Well, because Jeff Zilgit reported that there's 3 teams that are heavily interested in trading for Donovan Mitchell. The obvious 2 teams are where he's from in New York, the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks. We all know the storyline, how Donovan Mitchell thought that he was going to be traded to the New York Knicks. But remember, the Knicks just made a trade for OG Anunoby. RJ Barrett was their tradable contract that they were looking to move for Donovan Mitchell. So now if they're going to trade for Donovan Mitchell, you have to give them either Jalen Brunson or Julius Randle. The Cavs don't need Julius Randle. I'm sure they would love Jalen Brunson, but New York won't do that. So that leaves Brooklyn. Mikal Bridges. Cleveland couldn't ask for Mikal Bridges. That's a possibility right there as well. But Brooklyn doesn't want to move on from Mikal Bridges. Brooklyn loves Mikal Bridges. So that leaves the Miami Heat. And guys, the Miami Heat have been linked to Donovan Mitchell for years now. The Heat have had strong interest in Mitchell, and it was reported by Jeff Zilgit that the Heat are looking to trade for a combo guard. Now, there were 3 players that were linked to the Heat recently by Bleacher Report. Donovan Mitchell was number 1, Pascal Siakam was number 2, Tyus Jones was number 3. Now, honestly, you guys, I was planning on talking about Tyus Jones today. I wanted to talk a little bit more about him because I haven't in the past. But when I saw this report yesterday about Donovan Mitchell, I knew what it was time to talk about. Because I always tell you guys, if there's any updates from the Miami Heat when it comes to any player, any real reports out there, that's what we're talking about first. So, I'm basically going to ask the same question I asked a few weeks ago because we know what it's going to take to trade for Donovan Mitchell. The true question is, do we want to do it? There's no way I'm trading for Jaime Jaquez in a package for Donovan Mitchell. If that's what Cleveland wants, I am hanging up the phone immediately if I'm Pat Riley. You don't trade Jaime Jaquez. You don't trade Bam Adebayo. And even though people have mentioned for Miami to possibly trade Jimmy Butler, hell no. Jimmy Butler is our superstar. For those of you that don't remember, and I swear to God, the regular season does this to Jimmy Butler. He busts his ass in the playoffs. He busts team's ass. He plays like one of the best players in the NBA, but then in the season, he doesn't give it his all. because he's saving for the playoffs. Now, I've talked about frustration with load management. I've talked about frustration with the Heat losing easy games. But at the end of the day, you want your superstar healthy when it matters. So there's no way I'm including Jimmy Butler in a trade. We got 2 to 3 more years left of prime Jimmy. We need to cash that in now. By trading Jimmy Butler, we're just pulling ourselves back. That makes no sense. So what does that leave? That leaves Tyler Hero. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to trade Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero's our guy. I understand that we were looking to trade for him for Damian Lillard, but that's Damian Lillard. I know that Donovan Mitchell, he may be kind of in the same tier, but, you know, Damian Lillard is Damian Lillard. What I would do if I was the Heat, I don't think Cleveland will take it, but offer them expiring contracts, young assets, and future first-round draft picks. See if that'll work. Now, you're going to be competing against teams, but it's just like I said. New York made a big trade. I don't think Brooklyn's going to want to give up their best player. Brooklyn may be able to offer a better deal than the Heat because they do have a lot more future first-round draft picks. But the question is, how many are they willing to give up? Because Donovan Mitchell is coming up on a contract year. When you trade for a player like that, you need to be careful because if you're offering multiple first-round draft picks, you trade this player and he may not be happy and want out. Where does that leave you? And Brooklyn, you guys, I mean, they're in the bottom tier of the Eastern Conference fighting for the play-in. So they're not as high contenders as the Heat are. I'm sure that Donovan Mitchell, if it came between Miami and Brooklyn, he'd rather go to Miami. Superstar players have influence a little bit on where they want to go. Damian Lillard wanted to come to the Heat. It didn't happen, but he did choose Milwaukee. And that's where they dealt him. Superstars have a little bit of saying of where they go. It may not be exactly where they want to go, but they do have a saying. But Brooklyn, I'm sure they don't want to risk exactly what happened with them with James Harden. When shit like that happens, you guys, it leaves an imprint on your brain. So if Brooklyn trades for Donovan Mitchell and they give up their future in Mikal Bridges, you're trading for a guy that can possibly leave you because you're not a contender. I don't think Brooklyn's going to want to do that. So that leaves Miami. And you guys, if Cleveland would accept the package of Kyle Lowry as a salary filler, remember, Cleveland trades for Kyle Lowry, they can buy him out, they can trade him to another team, they have multiple options. You can also give them Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin is a player that has chemistry with Max Strus. He's a guy that you can give a contract to and build for the future. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Max Strus, Caleb Martin, they would be good in the East. Then you can add a young piece, an asset, like Nikola Jovic. Nikola Jovic has been proving that he can play in the NBA. And I love that the Miami Heat are getting Nikola Jovic minutes because the trade deadline's next month. So what you're doing is that you're showing teams that Nikola Jovic does have value. He is an asset. Because you guys, I don't want to trade Tyler Hero. I don't want to trade Duncan Robinson. I don't want to trade Jaime Jaquez. This team is set. This team is a true contender for the NBA championship in 2024. And it's like I've said in the past, and I'll say it again. The only way that I would be cool with the Miami Heat making a trade is if 2 reasons. One, you are getting a home run hit. Like the trade package I just mentioned. You want Donovan Mitchell? Give me another player for a salary filler who I'll cut immediately. I'll give you Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, 2 to 3 future first-round draft picks. And why would I give up the draft picks? Because if I'm trading for Donovan Mitchell and I'm keeping Tyler Hero with Bam Adebayo, Jaime Jaquez, and Jimmy Butler, that's the Heat going all in for the next couple of years. And then after Jimmy Butler rides into the sunset, ladies and gentlemen, you are building around Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Donovan Mitchell, and Jaime Jaquez Jr. It's like I've said before. The Miami Heat have set themselves up for now and for the future. But a trade for Donovan Mitchell, a Miami Heat friendly trade for Donovan Mitchell, would not only boost our chances this year, but will also make us a contender for years coming. Because a team with those 4 players, Bam, Donovan, Tyler, Jaime, that's a dangerous team in the NBA. So, the true question is, you guys, and you know this is what we do in my channel. Whenever there's a topic that comes up, I'm going to let y'all know and we're going to talk about it. I want to hear from you guys. Would you be willing to trade for Donovan Mitchell? if the package includes Tyler Hero? Or would you say hell no? Also, do you think a trade for Caleb Martin, Kyle Lowry, Nikola Jovic, multiple first-round draft picks, for Donovan Mitchell and maybe another player or two just as like a salary filler that you can dump immediately, do you think that would be beneficial for the Miami Heat with what I explained? For the team winning now and doing well in the future with Donovan, Tyler, Bam, and Jaime Jaquez. I want to hear from Miami Heat fans. I want to hear from the Heat Nation. What do you guys think about that possible trade? Do you think the Heat should go after it, or do you think we're fine with what we have? And let me know what you think about that game against the Lakers. You guys, I don't care. I'm still salty about LeBron leaving us 10 years ago. That was a bad way to leave the Miami Heat. He put us in a bad position. When he left, it was already 2 days after the monetarium period, so we couldn't really sign anybody else. LeBron left us high and dry. And after LeBron left us, he usually beats our ass every year. So the fact that this season, the 2 games that we played against the Lakers and we whooped that ass, that feels great. Miami Heat squad, I'm happy. Heat Nation, be proud of your team. Stand up. We 4th seed. We at the top of the Eastern Conference. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to click the subscribe button to help your boy out. Comment your thoughts. And don't forget to click that notification bell. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go Heat.